Hey everybody, Mike here, and we are diving into Final Cut Pro and the assignment for Composite Layers. A little bit of a Department of Redundancy there because composite is another name for layers. So let's get started. The assignment sheet has 5 sections, and we're going to try to explain what those are. We're setting up here with a brand new project inside a brand new library, and I've made this project 720p, 24 frames per second. So we're going to start by gathering some media. It wants us to use some 4-second clips, and we can get those from just about anywhere, but a nice place is some of our slow motion extreme sports. So let's go ahead and do some import. We're going to import media. Gives us the import media window. I want to go to the Edit Sans server, external media leave in place, and in DJ media for digital juice, we've got the DJ media VTX, and that's some media that we bought. I like this extreme sports one. I'm going to double click on that. We don't need the entire folder, but let me just scroll down and pick a bunch here. We are going to leave in place, of course, make sure that they're going into my Composite Layers project. Leave in place, keywords from folders, everything automatic, and create optimize. Yes, because we are going to be doing some effects and things, so we want to optimize that media. And let's go ahead and analyze for balanced color. We don't need to find people or any of these other things. Import selected, and there it goes. It's working on it. The next thing we want to do is looking at section 1. First thing we want to do is start with the music and the title. So I'm actually going to go under Edit, and I want to insert a generator of a gap clip. So I've inserted a gap clip, and this is currently 6 seconds. We want a 4-second, approximately, there we go, 4-second gap clip. Let me zoom in a little bit, Command plus, and go to the beginning. And there's my gap clip. I'm going to put the title over that. Let's go to our titles. Titles. Just pick something basic to start with here. We'll take our basic title, and I'm going to put it on top of that gap clip. Shift Z to see the whole thing, and I want it to just line up right with that gap clip. The way that titles are, I'll click in the middle here so I can see what's happening with my playhead. Click it to select it, and then I can click on this right in the viewer window, double click to start editing. And I'm going to type this exactly like the assignment sheet says. Section 01 space dash space Final Cut Pro 10 built-in effects, etc. Whoops, forgot my C. There we go. Exactly what the title says on the assignment sheet, that's what you put into this. Now, we can't press the Enter or Return key because that's just going to add the typing. What we want to do is press the Escape key to exit the edit mode. Okay, there's the beginning of our section. Now we want to add one 4-second audition that contains 4 different clips. Let's go back to our media, and let's create some 4-second clips. So let me select this one. I can see that it's in my little clip there, about 4 seconds. And let's append that. Let's get 4 seconds here so we can do it a different method. From our skimmer, we'll set the in point and play approximately there and out. We're going to build an audition. So bring that down, put that on top, and add to audition. Let's get another one. We're supposed to have 4 of these, so I'll just do a few more. Add to audition, and there's the last one. We can tell it's really different. And there's 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Add to audition. So our assignment is to make an audition. It's not hard to do, and when we do our demo and do our critique phase, we'll be able to see these. And if I right-click on here, under audition, I can see the next pick, Control, Option, Arrow. Control, Option, Arrow. So I can cycle through. I guess they're not exactly 4 seconds, but I can see how that audition works to show my boss what potential clips could be used in this section. Next, we want to make a 4-second clip that's the same clip but have different effects. Okay then, so let's pick an entirely different clip, make a selection here that's about 4 seconds long. We're going to append that. And then we're going to take that same clip, put it on top, and make an audition. So now we can select to that second one. Let's look at our filters. And we want to put in something of a filter effect that looks quite different. So let's say we've got the film noir kind of dark clip, and let's put that on there. Let's make another copy on top of here, make an audition. Let's open, let me right click, open the audition so I can see these different clips in here. Go to the second one. Oh, click on that one there. Here's my last one. Let's give that a, maybe this earthquake effect would be fun. Put that right on top of there. So now we can have an earthquake. Let's do one more. Grab that, put that on top. Add to audition. Let me cancel that. Let me use the duplicate. So click on that one, duplicate that, but let's give it a desert glare effect, but turn off the earthquake. Click on done. So let's cycle through our different changes here. There's no effect. All kinds of different, if there's the earthquake, oh my goodness, how are they doing that in the earthquake? So it's relatively simple to begin with. We're exploring the use of auditions with 4 different clips, and then an audition that's testing out the same clip with different effects. Now we want to do a split screen with 2 clips. So let me find a different 4-second clip. 3, 4 seconds there. Append that. Here's another one. Append that. So these 2 clips now, we want to do a split screen. And the way that we do that is that they have to be actually connected on top of each other. And this top one here, we're going to use the transform and the crop tool. Let me get my playhead on top of there. And grab the edge and pull it sideways to reveal the clip below it. Let's take this one now. We'll do the trim this way. So I've actually trimmed both of these. Let's click on Done. Trimmed both of these to have a nice black border between them. Again, I use the crop and trim. There's also crop and change, and there's the Ken Burns effect that you'll learn is a slow and steady pan and zoom. And that's the split screen. Now we want to explore some of your favorite transitions. So let's take a different clip and append, and we'll get a different clip and append. And between these two clips, I want you to go through and explore and find some of the transitions that you like. Now there's going to be a lot loaded in here because we're using some of the Digital Juice transitions that we purchased. You can go just Digital Juice, or you can look at some of the different dissolves and things like that. Here's a kind of border one. That's kind of divide one. Let's put that on top here and use that as one of our favorite transitions. So get the 4 clips so that in between here you can have different 3 different transitions. Don't load up and start trying to put transitions on your items in the beginning here. Just go ahead and separate that and make those transitions between new clips. Here's another one that we want to use and explore lower thirds. So let me scroll down, find a different clip. Let me append that. Actually, I need to be a little bit longer. Get to my 4 seconds. There we go. And I want to do a lower third. So that's back up here with generators and titles. We flip that open. There are lower thirds as a section of titles. Now the lower third is just what it means. It's positioned on the lower third of the page, of the screen, and it's meant to make the text easier to read. So if I just take some text and drop it on top of our paraglider guy, it might be a little bit hard to read. But by giving it some sort of a border, a graphic of some kind, our text becomes much easier to read. So go ahead and edit those with, just go ahead and make up a name and a description to put on top of your clips, but pick 3 different examples of lower thirds that you like. So you're going to have to go through here and explore a little bit. Some of these have graphics, and some of them have a color or an animation or something that will make them easier to read on top of moving action. And lastly then, in this section, pick 3 of your favorite generators. So let me close titles, click on generators here. There's lots of different backgrounds and things. Here's a cloud one. Let's put that down here. But that, whoa, it's long. Let's just make that 4 seconds. So I'm looking at the first number here to see that that's about 4 seconds. So find, in all of these different items, find 3 that you like and lay those in here just end to end. All right? So that's that section. Shift Z to see the whole thing. The other thing that we want to have for each section is some music. So let's go back to our media and to our event, and let's import media. Let's go to the Edit Sans server. Oh, I want to go back up to media, leave in place. Let's scroll down to music. Here's my music. Double click on music and 60-second clips. All of our things are going to be really, really short. So you can just pick something in the 60-second one and, I don't know, pick half a dozen of these or so, or however many you want. And let's go ahead and leave in place and import those. And now they're a little bit loud, you know. Green is good, red is bad. Let me make sure that I'm got one clip here. So let's say we're going to take this one and we're going to bring this one down underneath to be part of the music for that section. Let me make it way shorter. Just the exact same length of the thing that I made. Let's lower this down so it's not yellow, it's just below the yellow. And we're going to have music that starts within our gap clip, our 4-second title, and it goes to the very end. So let's hit the home button. Very nice. Now, the next thing that we want to do is our next section. So again, we want to get a gap clip. Let me snap to the end here. Go under Edit, Insert Generator Gap, but it's actually Option W. Option the escalator. Option W is a quick way to get the gap clip. Option W. Let's make sure that that's, oh, did I click on that twice? We want it to be 4 seconds long. I'm looking at the first number. Here we go. And we're going to start our next music underneath there, and we'll get our next title. So let's get our next title. It can be any sort of title. Maybe there's something fun with a rotating 3D title. Let's put that on top of here. And we're going to name that section exactly what our assignment sheet says. Section 02, Final Cut Pro 10 built-in themes. So I'll let you guys do that part. I'll show you the next here. I won't take the time to put that in. But one of the fun things that Final Cut Pro has is these different themes. And so under our titles and credits, we can see that there's themes that fit, like this one called boxes. So you see it's got a section here called boxes or bulletin board. So if we say we want to make a show and we want it to have a branded look, maybe it's a travel show, we can use different elements that all fit into this theme of bulletin board. So here's a show opener. Maybe that'd be good. We're going to get that as a show opener to our title here. And then we want to make about a 30-second branded show. So we're going to go through all of these and find ones that match the bulletin board theme. Let's look under lower thirds. There's boxes, there's bulletin board. There's a couple here. So let's get a lower third on our next section. So first let's get some footage. Go back up to the top. Here's my footage. Let's get a 4-second piece here. Next, and then we're going to go back to our titles, to the bulletin board lower third. We're going to put that on top of this guy. We're going to give that the name and description that matches what our action is. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to use all these different elements that match the bulletin board theme. So there's some boxes, there's some more. This is a zoom out opener that we use. Here's a build in and build out title. See if there's any bulletin board ones in there. Not really. So we're looking for the different elements and things within these titles to make our bulletin board theme. And just do a few clips. Do it like 60 seconds long. If you're not finding the exact stuff that matches, like here's our bulletin board credits at the end, you can get some like generators. Let's look under generators and backgrounds, and we'll pick one that fits. Elements, kinetic, nature, photos. Here's a photo album sort of background. That kind of works. I'm going to put this in here, make it 4 seconds long. One of the things that we want you to do is include a vertical photo. So just like the lynda.com chapter is dealing with, sometimes you're going to get photos that you need to include, and horizontal photos are no problem. But if something is vertical, it's nice to have a background and not just black footage behind there. So I'm going to go back to my event here, and I am going to get some media. I've already saved a folder in my Edit 1 folder in my composite demo, and I have a vertical photo from home that I took out of iTunes, iPhoto, and this is a cool coffee maker, and I want to include that into my trip here. I'm just going to connect it right on top of there, and so now I can see I got my vertical photo, but it I mean, it looks nice. It's not just black. There is a background, but we've got to do a little something with it here. So I'm going to go to the transform. There we go. Click on transform, and then I'm just going to scale it a little bit smaller. I'm going to grab this right here and turn it just a little bit. And then one more thing, I'm going to give it the filter of a drop shadow. So here's my installed filters. Scroll down here to the D's for drop shadow. There it is. And put that right onto that clip. So now we've really made this look a lot better. So we've got a background, and it's a little tilted, and it's got a little drop shadow in there. So that's going to play real nice. So that's the steps that we want you to do to a vertical photo. And we'll click on Done. Now the next section, section 3, has to do with third-party plugins. We'll get our gap clip, hold down the Option key. I'm going to make another gap clip copy right there. I'm going to put on my title. I'm going to say that this is section 3 for plugins loaded into Final Cut Pro. The other day when you guys downloaded some things into your movies folder, those were plugins that we've purchased for you to have and use here in Final Cut Pro. They're from third party, and you can find those. We just want to use 4-second clips and create 3 examples of effects purchased from Crumple Pop or Digital Juice. So we're going to go to our effects here. Let's look under light, and I already scrolled down so I kind of found this, but there's a section called Crumple Pop Overlight. And this is kind of cool because, let me get my playhead over that one. What we've got is things that look like old camera light leaks. there's a little light leak in the corner of that effect. I'm going to get that one onto here. So now there's kind of a light, like the camera's getting a glare, the camera's getting a old-fashioned light leak into the box of the camera. The other thing you can do is if you click on all, and then you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can see some of the things that are made by Crumple Pop. And here's kind of a fun one. Click on this one. This is called Shrink Ray. And Shrink Ray does something like a tilt shift that it makes a really shallow depth of field and makes these clips look like they're little toys. Make this a little bit bigger so as they get closer here. So it's a really shallow depth of field. Kind of fun to use. So go ahead and go through here and explore and find some of the transitions and, some of the filters for Crumple Pop or Digital Juice. Now, we also want to do some of your favorite transitions. So do those clips and then get 4 more clips. Let me find some here. So we'll go back up to this one. Get a second here. We'll append that one. And we'll append that one. So now we want to get these third-party transitions. Let's look under transitions. There's Digital Juice transitions. So we have all kinds of crazy explosions. There's a block breaking. Let's put that in between these two. Nope, put it right in between. Nope. Oh, I'll bet I know what I got here. I got to be right in the middle. Let me do the trim tool. So we play this one. It's got some pretty crazy effects. But there's also, like I said, lights. So here's some effects with Crumple Pop lights. So we're keeping again with our theme of, a light leak that changes between the two clips. So find, find 4 clips and use your favorite third-party transitions. And lastly, find 4 of your favorite generators. So we'll go back up to generators and look at some of these different animations, elements, Digital Juice generators, so you can explore and look through these and find the effects that you want to use. Now let me say something about these clips that have what looks like an arrow involved here. Let me drag this down. This is a generator. And this arrow in the inspector window is looking for a clip to use. This is called a drop zone. We're going to click on this once. We're going to find a clip that we want to use. Let's use this part right here. So I clicked on that once, and now it says apply clip. And when I apply that clip, now that clip is used in the effect. So those arrows, that's called a drop zone. Now I can edit that and change that. Usually you want to use a different clip or something like a little preview of where it's going to go, but it's kind of a cool effect in these different generators to use part of your footage. All right, section 4 then is going to be using third-party media to make layered composites. Composites in Final Cut Pro 10. Using supplied third-party footage, create 6 different 4-second examples of composite layers. Use text to label the blend mode that you used. Okay, so let's go to our footage. Let's get a piece here. No, let's get this motorcycle guy here. Remember, I'd have a gap clip. Let me get my gap clip going here. Option drag makes a copy. Get this guy, append, 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 append. So I'm going to get 6. You're going to get 6. And then we want to blend these with some other clips to make a stunning visual effect. Let me go out to the Finder and explore a little bit of where these clips are. In the Edit Sans server, external media, there's several different areas where you can find clips that we purchased for you. This Crumple Pop folder is one, and there's some different clips in here that have lights and distressed footage, and that is great for this type of blend mode. Another place is Rampant Design, and this is a huge collection that we brought in and purchased for you to use. Now, the neat thing about these is that a lot of these are extra large. So this is 2K, there's some 4K, 5K footage. That means that you can zoom into a portion of this and not lose any resolution. Right now my project's at 720. This is, 2000. So explore through here and find some of these that you want to use. Another place is going to be back into the Digital Juice media folder, and under Digital Juice then this Compositors Toolkit has lots of footage too. So the ones that say matte, those are black and white. These ones that don't say matte, those are the colored version. So why don't I, like for example, let's take that one and we'll put it in here. Here's my explosion. And if I take that particular clip and I put it on top of my footage, I want to find just the right spot where it's already exploded, like right in here. And I need to make that 4 seconds long, so it's right on top of that. There's my playhead on top of here. What I want to do is put the distressed footage on top of my regular extreme sport footage. So with that one selected, go to the inspector, and here at the top where it talks about compositing and blend mode, we want to change this to something different than normal. So we want to experiment and find these and find ones that will make a cool effect. So I selected pin light. And so now when I watch this, it's taken that mode, added some of the orange, but it's really blended that out. Now it looks like my version here doesn't quite fit. Let me select that, actually scroll down here to my spatial conform and fit fill. So now that goes all the way out to the edge, and I just see my footage through the colored version underneath there. Now I might trim that a little bit so it falls right within the explosion, or I might take that explosion and zoom in a little bit in the transform tool. But the other thing that we need to do now is I want to get a title, and we'll put that on top of here, and what I want to type in, maybe I'll move that down a little bit, but I want to double click on that, and I'm going to do pin light. So what I'm, escape key, What I'm typing is the label for the blend mode that I used. Not the name of the clips, not the lower third like it's motorcycle guy or something. I want us to be able to remember what the pin light was. I'm just going to grab that and move that down here to the black. I want to know what the blend mode was. So this comes in blurred and goes out. Right? I'm labeling what was the blend mode of this clip here. Does that make sense? Do that on 6 different clips. Footage, some sort of distress or explosion or shatter or something type of clip, and then the text label on top of that. Okay, our last section then, section 6, is going to be using third-party media to create themes. So just like section 2 used some of the built-in things from Final Cut, here's my bulletin board theme, we're going to use a third-party model. Let me start with my gap clip, option drag. I need to go out to the Edit Sans server and import some more footage. Located in the DJ Media folder is DJ Editor Toolkits. These are themed pieces of footage for you to use in creating shows. If you can make a show that has these backgrounds and lower thirds and all these different things, overlays that match in color and theme, you've got a branded show. And here's some of the best ones that we've collected for here for you to use. So some of them are a little different format, and so they're not showing up in my preview. That's why I got to do it from Final Cut Pro. So let's go back to Final Cut Pro. I've got my event selected, import, Edit Sans server. Let's go back to the root level here of that folder. Double click DJ Media, Editor's Toolkits, and now let's not get in too deep. Let's see what these look like. So here's some sound effects, here's some backgrounds, and here's an overlay. An overlay is what's going to let your video behind here show through. Let's go back up, close that, scroll down, let's find another one. Kind of looks like the city, big city stuff. So we've got a show about motorcycles in the city. So I'm going to click on that whole folder and import all of that, leave in place. But one of the things now uniquely, I don't want to optimize. In this particular situation, do not optimize because it breaks some of that alpha channel overlay type stuff. So just with this particular media, these numbered themes, we're not going to optimize. Import selected. There it goes. Now inside here, some Photoshop files and all kinds of stuff so you can really make a themed show. So let me find our stuff. Here's some different things, some overlays. So now, once again, I'm going to create a 30-second show. Let's start with my backgrounds. Just take that whole thing, move that down there, make that about 4 seconds. So there's my show opener. And then I want to have a overlay. Let me scroll down here and find the overlay. So I'm going to put that on top of some footage. Let's get a Whoops. Go back to this one. Let's go up. Let's get our motorcycle guy. Put him down here. Go back to this one. Here's the overlay. We're going to put the overlay over that footage. And there's the motorcycle showing through. So whatever was black in that clip is showing through as the clip below it. So build with these different elements a 30-second version, including that vertical photo. So we'll go back up to our different background. Let's take background number 2. We'll put that in there. We'll get our vertical photo on top of that and do that same thing. Just tilt it and give it a drop shadow. Now we're just doing it on top of a different, where did I lost my photo. There it is. Just do that on top of different background. Okay, so make a 30-second show with this footage. I got to get some music, right? So I'm going to get my music. Start with the title for that section. Shift Z so I can see the whole thing and build that right up underneath. So the music starts with the title. So it's really nice to be able to find a bundle of clips that work together to make a themed show, whether it's built into Final Cut Pro or it's some third-party media. It's also really great to be able to create these blend modes, and now with it's almost unlimited the effects that you can create. Sometimes you might be watching TV and late night video and you look at that, you go, hey, wait a minute, I recognize that footage. That's a title out of Final Cut Pro. But between the different footage and mixing it with different blend modes, I mean, the possibilities are almost infinite, and you're not creating it from scratch. It's a relatively simple process. So hopefully this is all things that you're going to be able to use in your clip media. There is one last thing I want to show you within this composite layers that is a little bit tricky in the themed here. So let's get some clips together. Go back up in here, and let's append some of these that we've already got some timing to. And that's to make transitions or swipes. So I'm experimenting a little bit, and I want to take a peek at a different theme here. Let's import. And inside that there's toolkits. There is some down here. I'm just going to scroll down. This editor's toolkit set of 10. I remember there's one that I liked. Which one was it, you guys? 43. I remember there was one that I liked. This 243. And we're going to import that one. Let's look at 243 set. Some of these full screen wipes are rather interesting. The place you're looking for, take these out. You're going to pick one theme and stick with it, but I'm picking this one just as an example. So here's a swipe, and what we're looking for, I got to transform this one because it's a standard def size. But I like the colors, so I'm just going to drag that out till it fits the full screen. When I'm using the arrow key and I'm trying to find the place in which it covers the full screen. You see there's like 1, 2, 3. There's like maybe 3 or 4 frames that cover the whole thing. I'm going to press the M key and make a marker there. take that marker and snap it right on top of my cut, my edit point. And as I play this, right at that point is where it comes on full screen graphics and switches over to the other clip. And so, but you got to make a marker, and like I said, it's easier to put it on top of one clip and find that point, make a marker, and then move it over. And some of these even have, some of the newer ones have some audio that goes along with that marker. This is kind of a fun retro theme that you can use as well. But remember, some of these are standard def size. You just need to transform those larger. Okay, so that just about does it for this one. I know it's a fairly involved project, but it's all going to be fun exploring and things that you can build on in the future. All right, have at it. Okay, so that just about does it for this one. I know it's a fairly involved project, but it's all going to be fun exploring and things that you can build on in the future. All right, have at it.